Used and abused number 2 is the Fox Explorer Barrow, and I've been using this for about 18 months to 2 years, and I got it off the back of a recommendation. A friend of mine got one and he told me that the Barrow bag was accessible from the sides. So all the barrows I've used in the past, you put all your gear on top, and I did used to like to use the Barrow bag to keep my bits and pieces in, but to access those you would have to take all your stuff off your barrow. Now when you're moving around the lake, you know, certain times of year you want to be on your toes at all times, and a lot of the day I have my gear on the barrow just so I can move it about, you know, leave it on there until absolutely necessary and I know where I'm staying for the night. So having this bottom bag accessible with my gear on top of it was a massive advantage, and that was the reason I got the Barrow. It's not the biggest barrow in the world, and I think because of that and its low centre of gravity, this barrow never falls over. Barrows I've used in the past, they were great, but the amount of times they would tip over, I'd leave it in the swim, turn around for a couple of seconds, you hear this horrible crash, turn around, your gear's all over the floor. This barrow has never ever tipped over. Being a small barrow, you know, you may think you're not going to get a lot of stuff on it, but there is another piece you can attach to the front, slots in here, enables you to put like a bag over the wheel. In fact, I think they make luggage that is actually purposely designed to be used with this barrow, but I don't use that. The barrow I use though, and you know, it is this piece here and these 2 front pouches that I really like about it. It's got nice long arms, so it's easy for me to push as well, and being small, it's not too heavy either, but you know, these pouches, they are the good bit. Keep all my kit in there, all the big stuff stays on top, and I'm able to zip round the lake without a care in the world. As far as punctures on the wheels go, I've punctured 1 tyre, but the amount of abuse I gave that last year, you know, I'd worn all the tread down, I was fishing the North Met, it's a big lake, burning around that all the time, in and out of the housing estates, you know, that tyre got some abuse. So I'm 1 tyre down in 2 years, but that's probably the longest I've ever made a tyre last either. You know, the only tyre that's outdone that is me puncture-proof one. So it's not a puncture-proof tyre, but plenty durable enough, and certainly done me some miles. The price of the Barrow is £180 RRP, but if you look online, like most things, you'll be able to get better deals depending on where you shop. You may be looking at this Barrow and thinking, you know, where are the sidebars and all that sort of stuff, but it comes with straps. I don't really use them, I just keep them tucked inside the bag most of the time, and I use my bed chair to form the sides, you know, so I lay the bed on, open the legs up, and everything just sort of sits inside those. So the less bits and pieces you got on the Barrow, the less it's going to weigh, and the easier it's going to make it for you to move. My favourite bit about this Barrow, without a doubt, is the storage underneath, and this main compartment here, plus these 2 bits at the front, you know, you've got one either side of the wheel. They are absolutely key, and they're the reason I've got this Barrow, you know, they are the one. And the way I use them, like I've said, the bed chair goes on top, as does my brolly, my rods, storm poles, anything like that. That all goes on top of the bed. My rucksack, that contains pretty much all my fishing tackle, you know, all my bits and pieces that I need to actually get my rods fishing. And inside these compartments are all my little spares, you know, so in here at the minute I've got a little pump for the tyre, should I need it. I've got some rod bands, I've got a cup, sweet corn, spom, a few leads. In here, some waterproofs. I've got my ridge monkey, my bait, a bit of food, all sorts in there, you know, all your bits and pieces that you need access to throughout the day, but you don't have to obviously load all your stuff off the Barrow in order to get them. So these pouches here, absolute game changer.